Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's very nice to have you back here with me today. Now, today I'm going to talk about something. I want to show you something, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you something. I want to show you something because we're talking about farming, haven't we? We've been talking about trying to get local produce, and we're talking about getting away from the supermarkets and all that processed food, that packed food, that ready food. And I've been saying we've got to take back responsibility for ourselves. And in some cases, some people are out there growing their own food, which is fantastic. And the problem is people are growing the food, and we've got to get that food that is being grown instead of to the supermarkets where they sort of crack down on you and treat you like an idiot. We want to get that food to you. Now, you might think, oh, Vobes, you're just getting onto the latest thing. I know what you're thinking. You're just getting onto the latest thing. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just, it's like, what do they call it when you get onto the sort of the gravy train of it all and you sort of go, oh, yes, the bandwagon. That's the word I was thinking of, the bandwagon. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you, back in 2008, do you remember that? When the old financial crash came along? All my money. That time. Well, during that period, I was out there. I bought myself I think it was what was it? It was a camera, a Sony EX1 it was, lovely camera. And I started to think, what can I do with this? Now, the internet, as you know, 2008, what's that, 17 years ago, something like that? I thought, well, what would be quite good is to film all the local producers here in Sussex, where I live, and show people the delights of eating healthily and getting that food to the door. And who is it that is making it? And what does it look like when it's made rather than going to the supermarket? I was talking about that in 2008. Don't believe me? I want to show you today that is exactly what I was doing. I was ahead of the curve, although YouTube at that time was really just Charlie Bit My Finger and Fenton and, a few pranks and all of those sort of things. People weren't doing serious stuff like this. Very serious show indeed. So they were doing, all that. And so I tried to set up a server and I put a website up and it was called The Harvest. It's no longer there because, what it's like when you're too early at something. You're too early and nobody's interested. We don't want to watch that rubbish. Well, now I think people are much more interested. Where does their food come from? They know they've had something injected into them. They know that ordinary food hasn't got the nutrients in it, hasn't got the vitamins in it anymore. We're all suffering from well, not all of us. Some of us do actually still go to farm shops and things. Probably all of my lovely audience. Probably all of you already know this. But I want to show you this. So here, for example, is I've got to remember how to do this now. Which one is it? I think it's on... I'm just looking at I've got a little control panel here, and I'm likely to press the wrong button. But I think this is it. Anyway, this was a promo for what I did in 2008. Have a look at this.
Welcome to The Harvest, a new internet TV show for you to enjoy, all about our local Sussex food and drink producers. In our first programme, we're off to Willow Nursery to meet Petra. She is single-handedly running her small holding in Barnham, growing salad and vegetables, as well as keeping chickens, geese and ducks. We'll be going behind the scenes at Tully's farm in Turners Hill to find out what goes on and just what is in season. Then over to the nice folks at Ballard's Brewery. How do they make their superb flavoursome beer? Chili Pepper Pete will be inviting us into his kitchen to cook up some hot stuff. Then over to the polytunnel where he grows his world-famous red-hot chilies. We should still have time to root out the bargains at the local farmers' markets in and around Sussex. So why not join us each month and discover the incredibly fascinating world of the Sussex food and drink producers at The Harvest.
There we are, starting July 2028. How about that? 2028? What am I talking about? 2008. And I'd been working at the beginning of the year and I thought, right, in 6 months' time, we'll have this and we'll have a whole series of programmes and it will show people exactly what I was doing. 2008. Now, sadly, as you saw there, Petra, who had the Willow Nursery, unfortunately, as far as I know, she's no longer doing that. I interviewed her when I had an audio podcast, probably the year before or something, and her husband sadly passed away, and she carried on as best she could with that. And I don't know whether she's still doing it. I hope she is. That was in Barnham in Sussex. And then, she carried on. And the other guy, Chili Pepper Pete, sadly, he passed away. Now, I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that I went there with my camera. I don't think that was like the Vobes curse was going on there. I'm pretty certain that wasn't the case. Now, I want to show you the next episode, but in order to do that, I'm probably going to start the harvest all over again. So I need to just fiddle with this for 1 second. I want to show you one little insert. It's about 8 minutes or something like that, but it shows you what I was thinking and what actually, and the guys I'm going to show you, I tried to see if their website still works and to see if they're still operating. And the website doesn't go anywhere. I don't know whether they're still operating, but again, this is from 2008.
It's 9:15 in the morning, and Graham Rawlingson from Farm Fresh Express is on his way to pick up some fresh food from one of his suppliers, the Village Greens, in Ockley, Surrey.
Farm Fresh Express, basically we started 3 years ago, and it's to provide a portal for customers to get access to local producers. By local we mean Surrey, Sussex, Kent, that sort of area. Sufficient range of sort of soils and climates and so on in the southeast of England that you can get a very full shop, lots of seasonal vegetables for almost all the year. And we were just very concerned that the farmers are having a tough time keeping going, and we love our countryside, and we love the fact that the local food is the freshest you can get. So we wanted to say, well, okay, if the model that's normally available doesn't kind of support local food, let's reinvent the model, and that's what we've done. Created an internet business, plus a personal service as much as possible, so that people can say, yes, okay, I'd like some carrots, and I'd like to know the farm it comes from. Quite a simple process, really. On the internet, everything's covered. So you've got a butcher's, a baker's, and we actually do have candlestick makers. By Tuesday midnight, you would shop, and you go to each of the shops as you see fit, and then buy what you want and then complete your order. The computer then sends those orders off to the farmers, collates all the orders. Basically, the computer's guaranteeing that what you've ordered is the order that goes to the farmer. We then pick those up in a few runs on a Wednesday and Thursday, start delivering Thursday evening, so you're getting fabulously fresh produce, kept chilled all the time. We actually do deliver to the customer's door, up little lanes, up blocks of flats and that sort of thing. So we can guarantee, we know where it's gone. There's been no warehousing in the process, just simple pick, pack and out the door. Hi Charlie.
Morning, Graham.
How are you this morning?
Morning.
Have you got it all ready for me?
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
really super.
Lovely morning.
Okay. Oh, it's just glorious, isn't it? I've done that rain all weekend.
You okay? Lovely. Thank you, Graham.
Okay, see you again next week.
Will do. Thank you.
I mean, yes, we do provide a lot of products direct from farms, and they're farmers who grow their own stuff. But there's also other producers, people who make pies and other things. One of the local producers does lovely Sussex roses. You can't see them very well in the box, I'm afraid. But we also have Apple Dram, who produce lovely cider that's going to go that's just on the Sussex coast. That's going to go to one of our customers. Bookham's, who do cheese, pasta sauce, and pastas themselves, so Bookham Cheese and Pasta. He's quite popular and been on TV a lot. Granstead Ginger. Lots of people on shows and things like that will have tasted this fantastic non-alcoholic ginger wine. So we'd love to sell that. Great for going to shows and give people tastings. But a new product that they've just come up with that people may not have seen is they've started making their own traditional still lemonade. And that goes down really well, especially on a hot day. And Gransteads themselves have tried mixing it, and apparently it's really good when it's warm. So we've got 3 people working on it more or less full time. That's us as directors, and we're doing the picking up and the packing and the delivering as well still. And we've got half a dozen sort of people who work part time, doing some of the pickup, driving and so on, some of the delivery, some of the organisation and the admin and so on. So we're quite a small little store. Local apple juice we get from Tullens, Ivor Kiverstein, grows his own apples and has them pressed and so on. Really love fresh apple pie tasting Cox and Bramley apple juice. We do get fresh bread from Slindon Bakery. So we have a nice granary loaf there. So one of the things we do is a range of frozen produce. We keep it in the freezer and then pack it in cool boxes to go. Alexandra's Kitchens do some fantastic Thai curries, salmon crumbles and so on. And we do vegetarian, so Clements in the village where we live, Plasto, do this fantastic range of nut loaves and so on. Again, very popular. They used to supply Surrey University with vegetarian food, so whole range of vegetarian as well.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that. Isn't that lovely? Out in the countryside, people doing things with their own physical hands in the old analogue world with that, the old weighing scale that came up there. Did you see that? And all those old, beautiful handmade products and drinks and things that are being grown by real people instead of this sort of digital mass-produced world. Don't we want to get back to that? Haven't we got an opportunity at this moment now and say, look, actually, all of that processed stuff, that's not really done us any good at all, has it? Let's face it. Let's get back to a world in which there are dedicated people like that, growing things, delivering things, getting them to your door, healthy living. Have we not got to go back to that? I think we have. And this is our opportunity to do that. All this sort of... yes, all of that as well. The horror stories of the world with the rubbish they're spraying down and all that. We are still here, ladies and gentlemen, and we can fight this and go back to a world which has some meaning for all of us. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you just to show, it's for those people who think, my goodness, that old Vobe, he could actually put together a decent video in those days. You just think I just sit here and switch the camera on and just waffle about. But in fact, in the past, I was doing much more exciting and interesting stuff. Well, maybe I should be going back to more of that. But don't you think, is that not an incentive to get out there? And I praise those people. I don't know whether they're still going, the Farm Fresh people. I have no idea. It was like 17 years ago. But let's hope they are. And if not, let's hope there are lots of other small businesses going, do you know what? We should be doing that. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be interested to see your comments. Until next time. Goodbye.